Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've got today my week 22 plan with me for 2025. Today's sticker kit is from the sticker shop on Etsy called Mailbox Happiness. Of course, if the shop is still in business, I will definitely provide the link in the description box. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on my sidebar, and then I'll work through my larger items after that. So first I've got my menu, and the menu for this week was Monday we had grilled sausages, Tuesday we had dinner at a friend's house, Wednesday we had pasta with meat sauce, Thursday was chicken fried rice, Friday was baked chicken thighs, Saturday was scallops, and Sunday was pork tacos. And then I'm going to add my weekly habit trackers on top of that because they are adorable. And for my habit trackers for this week, I put planning, meditating, and reading. I'm actively working on getting back on track with my workouts, but that is it's not easy. Once I get off track, I kind of tend to stay off track, but it's a work in progress. So, and then I just like to put this week script sticker, and then I'm going to place my first to-do list box here. So naturally, dishes, laundry, trash, sweep, and mop. I feel like all of those things have to be done like all the time. But when you have a household of 8 pets, I mean, it's not exactly surprising. Okay, and then I do have a decor box that I wanted to put up on top of this. I love the colors of this sticker kit. I feel like they're very vibrant and they contrast really well, which just makes my brain very happy. Okay, decor box here. And then I've got another to-do list for Thursday. Yeah, for oopsies. Ooh, when your brain is moving too fast for your fingers. I'm gonna have to see if I can get this off. I kind of just mushed it down, so maybe, maybe not. We shall see. Okay, there we go. The to-do list is done there. And then let me see if there's any hope of me getting this off of here. Oh, the universe loves me. Because this was supposed to go on Wednesday, not on Tuesday. Okay, there we go. Now you can stay. And then I've got another to-do list box for Friday. Fabulous. Then I will just put this little to-do list header right here. And then I do have a banner and a couple of fun like stickers. So that one says Friday, and then we have Saturday and Sunday fun day, but I do also have this weekend banner sticker, so I do want to give enough space to have all of them. So for Sunday, I'm gonna put this here, and then for Saturday, I'll put this one here, and then I'm gonna see if I can squeeze this banner up here at the very top. I just don't want it to come off of the planner. Let me see if using these will help a little bit. Okay, I like the way that looks, but I am gonna trim the top pieces later, just so that it's not sticking off the top. But very cute. I can live with all of that. Okay, and then I can now get started on Monday. So the first thing that I have to mark for Monday is, of course, going to be my reading. And I will put it this way. I'm actually going to move this up a little higher because I know I have multiple items that I do want to mark for Monday. Okay, so for my reading, I read for 30 minutes. And then the next item is my daughter had her summer program. So I'm just gonna put this, actually I'm gonna put it sideways. I feel like that makes a little bit more sense. I'll put this little alarm, and then I will write daughter summer program. And now that I'm looking at that, I'm not super happy about the way that looked, but I didn't want it to be so long because, again, I do have a couple of items to mark down for this day. Okay, and then the next one that I'm going to mark once again, we're not happy with that placement, so I'm going to see if I can just adjust a little bit. Okay, that does look better. And then I will put this little cool chilling emoji guy. And I'm going to write that we had friends over. Well, the kids had friends over. Okay, perfect. And then the next item, here's what I was looking for. I didn't get to take a bath this day. I'm gonna put this here. And then I'll put the little bathtub. And then I will just write hot bath, naturally. And then the last thing that I'm gonna mark, I'm actually gonna put it on this decorative box, was for me and my husband both having the day off because this was Memorial Day. And I'm just gonna put this little couch, and it says lazy day, because we did in fact have the day off and it was lovely. And then the other item that I had isn't really an item. It is just a little piece of like decorative washi that I thought looked good right here to break up that pattern, because this box has the same pattern, but it's just kind of pushed in the background. Okay, and then for Tuesday, the first thing that I am going to mark for Tuesday is that we had dinner over at our friends, hung out for a little bit. And then I will write dinner at friends. Very nice. And then I would like to go ahead and mark my reading. And on Tuesday, I read for an hour. Put the little cell phone. And this week I did decide to mark all of my reading with little cell phone icons. Because that is in fact where I do all of my reading. Okay, and then up next, I am going to mark, again, my daughter went to her summer program. And then after that, I definitely did want to mark that I completed book, there we go, book 21. Finished book 21. There we go. And then my son did also have martial arts class this day. And what I'm going to do, because that little exclamation point hangs down a little bit more, I'm just going to lift it so that I can put this underneath, so that then that way you still see the full icon. Apparently I'm feeling very picky about sticker placement today. Normally I will just let it be crooked. Okay, that's better. And then I will put the tiny little car icon that I've got right here. Okay. And then I will write Son Martial Arts. There we go. And then after that, I have, actually I have a kind of funny one to mark down. Well, it's funny now. It definitely wasn't funny when this was happening. So I'll put this way. There we go. And then I've got my little grumpy girl, because this day I was having a car issue. So that was wonderful. And nothing like having your check engine light come on to give you a nice mild heart attack. Turns out it was a faulty spark plug, so no biggie. My husband was able to fix that nice and quick, which is amazing. Because if you asked me to do that, some skills we have, some skills we do not. We know our limitations. Okay, and then the next thing I'm gonna mark here is that we did also end up going to the park. Okay, and then of course, I did take some time to de-stress and play a little bit of Diablo. But before I put that on there, I do have a little piece of washi I wanted to add. And then, of course, I'm going to add my video game playing. Oops. And then here's my little game controller. And then I'm just gonna write Diablo 4. And in case anybody's curious about my Diablo playing, I am playing with only the single character that I've created. And I'm working my way through the expansion pack, but in probably the laziest form possible. So I don't think I'll be finishing anytime soon, which again is totally okay with me. I love that I have the ability to take the time to play video games. I didn't used to, but my kids are getting a little bit older, so they're not necessarily, well, one of them is a teenager, so I don't think she thinks I'm cool anymore, which is okay. And then I have an 8-year-old, and he's very much into actually Minecraft, so he'll be out there playing Minecraft. He'll come in here and he'll even watch me play Diablo 4, which is super sweet. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this in half so I can write a little bit better. I think I normally fold this in half, but my brain just forgot. And I read for an hour and a half. 1.5 There's my lovely writing coming back when my hand is on that coil. And then, of course, it is a Wednesday. So I did have a video uploaded on this day. So I'll put this here. And then I will put my little laptop girly. And then I will put YouTube video. And then after that, I did have some me time, which was fantastic. I'm actually gonna attach this on here before I set it down. Okay, and then I'll put it right about, yeah, that's perfect. And then let me grab the other marker. And then it was an everything shower, and a facial. Sometimes you just need a little me time. Sometimes all the time. Whatever works. This year I've focused a lot on like really tuning into myself and understanding when I need grace, when I need like just that extra like me time for myself. So, and I have over the past I want to say the past like 2 months, really, I've really needed to take like a couple of steps back. So I've done that, and it's helped me work through the things going on in life and not completely lose my cool when I'm getting stressed out and things like that. So definitely something I plan to continue doing for the foreseeable future. And then this, of course, is I'm marking my daughter's summer program. Summer program. Fabulous. And then again this Wednesday my little dude did have his martial arts class, so I will put this actually, yeah, I'm gonna put it up a little bit higher. And then I've got my teeny tiny car, if I can grab it. And I will put the little car here. And then I will write that my son had martial arts. Son, martial arts. There we go. And then after that, I'm gonna add a little washi style banner situation. Oh, but I don't like that one. I have a couple to choose from, so I'm gonna choose this one. And it's very similar, but it is different. It doesn't have the deer on it. I love when things, they match, but they're still different. And then the last item that I have to mark for this day was that I had to go pick up prescriptions. And I'm just gonna write script pickup. Which, funny enough, I actually just did a script pickup today. Okay, perfect. That's the first half of the week. And then I'm gonna flip over and do the second half of the week. So for Thursday, the first thing that I'm gonna mark is a bubble bath. Oh, don't roll away. There we go. I'm gonna put my little bath girly, and she's got a little glass of wine. Ugh. Okay, I don't typically have a glass of wine simply because I don't even keep wine in the house anymore. but one day I'll get there. Bubble bath. I think typically for me, I'm even reading when I'm in the bath. I don't have a TV or anything in there. And I would listen to music, but eventually I'd probably just end up falling asleep. And something tells me that's just not the greatest idea. So, you know, I'm working with what I got. And then I read on Thursday for 2 hours. So read or read 2 hours. Okay, and then after that, I am going to mark my daughter's summer program because it is Monday through Friday. That looks good. Tiny little alarm clock. And then I will write daughter's summer program. And then after that, I've got oh, I know what this is. My brain hurts. Do you ever like set things up or write things down and then realize that you don't remember what you're talking about? Me, 24/7. Okay, so I've got this cute little girly head with her little space buns. And this I'm marking Chick-fil-A lunch. Lunch. I don't even know how to spell anymore. It is what it is. Then I also talked on the phone with a friend. Little phone icon. And I'm just gonna write phone. My A's are struggling today. Friend. And then I do have another little washi piece here that I wanted to add. And then, of course, I did end up having some planning time because I would probably lose my entire mind if I didn't. Got this cute little paper clip. And then I'm just gonna write planning time. Lovely. And then for Friday, okay, I'm going to first mark my my reading. And for reading on Friday, I read for an hour. I'm gonna flip this way. Okay. I have too many pens, clearly. 1 hour. And then I'm gonna mark the last day of my daughter's program for the week. Program. Perfect. And then after that, I am going to, oh, my nose itches. I am going to mark over here that I did do a brain dump. Also, I'm going to add a piece of washi, just because these little tail flag things kind of just annoy my existence, but that's okay. Still very cute. Okay, so there's the brain dump. And then I also had watched the silence. You know, maybe I can move the brain dump up a little bit because I still have one more thing. It's my bills and budgeting. Oh, I make my life so complicated. Okay. So if I put this at the very tippy top of this little box, even though it's not necessarily a part of that box, I think we'll be okay. Okay. So here I can write that I watched the silence. And there is a bird here, but I'm still gonna put like the little bitty TV because it brings my heart joy. All right, and then I also need to mark down my bills and budgeting. Well, that was an interesting little turn of events. So I'm going to use this little hexagon right here. Well, actually, I guess I'm gonna put it here because it makes sense in my brain over here. And then I'm going to take my little piggy bank guy, and on second thought, maybe, well, I lie, because they're the same size. Okay, well, about that. Okay, so it's gonna cover it up entirely, but that's okay. I will survive this time. And then I'm just gonna write down bills and budget. Yeah, that spacing is all off, but it is what it is. Okay, and then I'm gonna get started on Saturday. So one of the first things that I'm going to mark down on Saturday is actually going to be at the very bottom with this huge box, because we went to the Oddities Expo, and I'm going to put this skull right here. And that was actually in Dallas. So I'm gonna write Dallas Oddities Expo. And when I tell you, this was so much fun. For anyone who knows me. Put a exclamation point there too. I have in my office a wall of, I call it my dead things wall. But it has like preserved bugs that are mounted in cases. It has bones and skulls and I'm talking real bones and skulls, not fake ones. And like they're real bugs. It's super cool. It's like a museum wall to me, and it just brings me so much joy every time I look at it. Yes, there are spiders, there's a snake, there's all kinds of stuff up there. So some people find it kind of creepy. That's totally okay. But it's just something that I've started collecting over the years, and just, it's fun for me. Anywho, back to the remainder of Saturday. So of course it was Saturday, so I'm going to mark my YouTube video for the day, and I will do that here. And then put my little laptop girly, and I will write YouTube video. Okay, I'm not super keen on how this feels when I'm holding this scalloped box, but writing on it, it was smooth like butter. For anyone who has like a thing for writing instruments and how they feel. That's very pleasant. And then, okay, next, we definitely had a family dinner out. Come on, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one here. And then, oops, my little icon. I'm actually gonna put it up in this corner. And then I'm just gonna write family dinner out. We actually went to a place called La Madeleine. It's like a French bistro. If you've never been there, 'tis delicious. They used to sell like locally jars of their tomato soup, but they don't do that anymore. And I'm not sure why that is, but it's unfortunate because it was delicious. And then next I'm going to mark my reading. And I realize that I'm building Saturday from like the bottom up, but that's just how my brain decided to do it today. Okay, and then for reading, I'm gonna put the little cell phone there, and I read for 2 hours. And then after that, I watched Get Out. Okay, and I will put that here. And then I have, of course, my little TV icon. And oddly enough, I don't really know why I still want, even with these big sticker boxes, I still want the icon in there because yes, there's a little decorative birdie, but that birdie doesn't tell you what I did. I think that's just like a me thing. And so I watched Get Out, which actually I thought that was a pretty good movie. I had never seen it before, but it was good. It was a decent movie. Okay. The next item I'm going to put, again, I'm going to start from the bottom up just because I want this big sticker box down here. I think my brain just likes it when all of the big items are at the very bottom because I'm starting to notice that I do that a lot. And I'm going to put this little girl with all her monies right here because this was our monthly finance meeting. Finance meeting. Here we go. And then after that, I am going to mark the grocery delivery because goodness knows everybody loves the grocery delivery. It's when all the good snacks are in. That's when all of my kids are like, ooh, let's raid that pantry. I don't blame them though. I like the snacks too. Okay, and then my brain's not functioning. Okay, I'm gonna put this big box here because we did sleep in for once. And I've got this cute little sheep and it says sleep in at the bottom. It's adorable. And then I will go ahead and mark my reading for this day too. Oddly enough, none of my, they're not really cited there in the center on both of these. I don't normally do that, but that's okay. Little variety never hurt. Okay, and then on Sunday, I read for 1.5 hours. Okay, and then I've got a piece of washi that I'm gonna put right here, or a washi style sticker. I'm gonna tuck it underneath just a little bit. And then I have this box here, and that is perfect. And then this was my bubble bath. but I seem to have lost my icon sticker for it. And give me 1 sec. I know I have extras. Here we go. Oh, if I can get it off the page. Perfection. Then I'm going to put it over here because technically my icon is over here. So we had another bubble bath. There we go. Flawless. Okay, I wouldn't say flawless, but we're looking good. We're looking good. Okay, there we go. And that is my week 22 of 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed sitting and planning with me. Like I said, I will include the link to the sticker shop for this kit if they're still open. If you guys have any questions or requests for any other type of videos, definitely leave me a comment below. I always love responding to you guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Thanks for being with me. Bye-bye.